It was a headbanger.
Did you know that you can just lie to people? I know it's crazy. Whenever I first found this out, it sort of blew my mind, but no, you can, and I think that you should. You know, within reason, of course. I'm not saying go out and start lying about some really big stuff that's gonna have some sort of ramifications that you can't fully comprehend right now, but I'm saying that like little white lies here and there sort of make the world go round. They make our day-to-day existence a lot more tolerable. Yeah, just don't go overboard, and you should be good when it comes to lying to people, because believe it or not, there is a lot of practical applicability in doing some lying in today's world. Not saying you won't get cut down for it by either society or some divine power, but like I said, keep yourself in check. Here's an example of how there is practical applicability, at least in my life. This is how I learned how to get good at art. I just started lying to people and saying that I was decent at it, and they believed me. No, really, it's true. You see, 99% of people, whenever it comes to any sort of creative endeavor, be it video making, art, drawing, sculpting, painting, does not matter what sort of medium it is. They have this mental block that is always the first step that you have to overcome whenever it comes to actually doing anything. This I cannot do that mentality. And I believe wholeheartedly, and this is why I'm advocating for people lying to each other, I believe that the first step to getting over that mental block is just lying to people and saying, yeah, I'm already over that mental block. I'll say it like this. 99% of people on Earth, if you ask them to draw a human, they will draw you a stick figure. The same thing goes for asking them to draw a dog or basically any sort of animal. They're very hesitant whenever it comes to actually trying to draw something, even more hesitant whenever it comes to showing people what they've drawn. I witnessed this firsthand about a week or two ago. You see, I've got 5 nephews. The oldest one is 18, and the oldest one lives with me. We split the rent. It's a very good situation we've got worked out. He's a cool guy, salt of the earth. And we were talking about artists that we follow on Twitter, artists that we follow on YouTube, artists that we follow on social media. And he said, yeah, man, I think I want to get into doing some like digital art or something like that. I might want to get myself a drawing tablet. And I said, well, I mean, I can teach you whatever I know. And I was trying to teach him in this situation the same lesson I'm trying to put in this video. I looked at him, I said, all right, here's your first lesson. I got a pen and I got a tablet of paper, and I said, draw me a dog. And he looked at me really weird. He looked at me like, wait a minute, you don't think I'm actually gonna sit here and draw a dog, do you? He looked at me with this sort of wide-eyed, surprised grin like, wait a minute, we're talking about art and how I want to go and do some art, and you expect me to do art? You expect me to draw something as simple as an animal? You think I can draw anything as complex as a damn dog? He sat there for 10 whole minutes, I counted it out, 10 whole minutes, trying to convince me that he couldn't draw a dog. And I said, yeah, I don't care. You have to draw a dog for this lesson to make sense. So he sat there, and the entire time that he was drawing the dog, he was also saying, well, I'm just telling you, it's going to look awful. It's going to look like ass. And I said, just fucking do it. He sat there and he doodled me out the shaky, sketchy little depiction of an animal. And I said, okay, that's fantastic. You finally, after 10 whole minutes of meandering around, pussyfooting around the task at hand, you drew me a dog. Thank you immensely. And I looked at him, I said, what was the first thing that you did whenever you tried drawing this dog? He said, well, I drew the circle. I said, bullshit, no you didn't. And we had this back and forth here and there where I said, what was the very first thing you did? And he kept trying to name stuff that he did not do very first whenever I told him to draw a dog. I said, the first thing that you did was you started trying to make an excuse for why you shouldn't or couldn't do that. I said, here is the way to get good at art. Lie to people and say that you are already good at art. You see, I would like to put it like this. Anything slightly better than what the previous person has done is always going to look leagues better because they cannot do that. So like, if the majority of people on Earth can only draw stick figures and little shaky, sketchy, shitty dogs, if you do anything even slightly better than that, it does not matter what style it is, it doesn't matter if you know how to do shading properly or anything like that, it won't register as having any flaws in their mind because they can't do that. There's this sort of like sensory input thing where it blocks off all the bad stuff and they look at it and it's like, every good factor of it is magnified like shitloads of times. I call it like progressional scaling, and this is how it applies to art using like a technological metaphor. So The Nintendo Entertainment System. 8-bit graphics. Alright, very blocky. There was a lot of good stuff on there, but you can very clearly tell the difference between the Nintendo Entertainment System's graphics and the Super Nintendo Entertainment System's graphics. The jump from 8-bit to 16-bit, very noticeable. Same with the one that came after it. The Nintendo 64 bought it into the third dimension. After that came the Nintendo GameCube, and you can still tell that there is a difference there, but you can see that it's starting to kind of bridge that gap. You hop from the Nintendo GameCube to the Nintendo Wii and so on and so forth to the Wii U and the Nintendo Switch, you'll start to notice that they've bridged that gap more and more every single time, either with the resolution of the textures or the amount of polygons that they can have on a model at once. What I'm trying to say here is that whenever it comes to, like, art, it is directly, in my opinion, comparable to the technological progression of these video game consoles. Starting out, when there's 1, 2, 3, 4 big breakthroughs, there are these giant, large jumps in technological quality, in artistic quality, in quality in general. But as it gets better and better, they bridge that gap more and more every time, and it's little to nothing but like slight improvements with every new and up-and-coming generation. That is directly applicable to art. If the Nintendo Entertainment System is what the majority of people can do using stick figures, and you are literally anything better than that, they think that you are leagues better. So if they can draw stick figures and you can draw three-dimensional figures, meaning that they are the NES and you are the SNES, they think that you are some, like, artist who has, like, fucking is on par with the classical masters, like some fucking Leonardo da Vinci shit. So basically put, you are allowed to fake it till you make it, and as a matter of fact, I encourage it wholeheartedly. Herein lies the moral of the story. Herein is the too long didn't watch of this entire video. Draw some shit. If you don't think that you can be an artist or do any sort of creative endeavor, draw some shit, make some shit, it do not matter. And then if someone points out any of those flaws, which 99% of the time, they're not gonna fucking do it because, I mean, most of the time, if someone points out the flaws, it's meaning that they can somehow do better than that. So, if someone calls out any of those flaws, you look at them dead in the eyes and say, oh, that's stylization. That's just my style. And then, after that, probably no one will call you on anything else. You can understand, I will say this, that there is going to be some criticism here and there, but build on that shit. Still call everything that you're doing like stylization, but still fix the little flaws here and there that people have pointed out. It doesn't matter if the flaws come down to like line quality. Just fix that up a little bit, clean up those lines a little bit here and there. Doesn't matter if someone's talking about how you shade very strangely and that there's weird sources of light here and there. It does not fucking matter because 99% of people don't even know the first thing about shading. Just throw some fucking shading on there and just fake that shit. I tell this to people all the fucking time. People don't know how to draw hands. Okay, draw a fucking pentagon and add some fingers. It doesn't matter. No one else knows how to draw hands, so if you just try drawing hands, they're gonna look better than what fucking anything. I mean, come on, it's so fucking simple. Just fucking lie to them. Just lie to people. Gee whiz, I tell you. Gee whiz. Anyways, yeah, that's been my sort of tirade on faking it till you make it. I've talked a lot about art here. I post a lot of art on Twitter, sometimes. You can check me out on Twitter at HaleKeyser. There's an underscore in between the Hale and the Keyser. I post my shit there. Hell, if you have art or any of that shit, well, plug that shit in the comments section. I enjoy checking out other people's art too. I've never been good at outros. I'll be seeing you next time.